Anxiety doesn't always begin with trauma. It doesn't always begin with a major life crisis. Sometimes it builds quietly. You check your phone, you rush through the morning, and by the time the day really begins, your nervous system is already on edge. Let's start with the first hidden trigger. How you begin your morning. The first 5 to 10 minutes after you wake up are neurologically powerful. Your brain is transitioning from a sleep state into full alertness. It's called the cortisol awakening response. But here's where things go wrong. If the very first thing you do is grab your phone and expose your brain to emails, notifications, news alerts, or social media, someone else's highlight reel on social media, a message you don't know how to respond to, all of this tells your nervous system something is happening. Bay. Alert. Bay. Ungar. And now your body is in mild fight or flight mode before your feet even touch the floor. Not because something is wrong with you. The second thing secretly increasing your anxiety is something many people rely on to cope with stress. Caffeine. Now, caffeine itself isn't evil. But here's the science most people don't think about. Adrenaline is your body's emergency hormone. And someone who already has a sensitive nervous system, that extra adrenaline can feel exactly like anxiety. Racing heart, sweaty palms, restlessness, shallow breathing. Your brain senses these physical changes and thinks, why is my heart racing? And just like that, a physical stimulant turns into mental worry. And it's not just one cup. It's the morning coffee, the mid-morning refill, the afternoon energy drink, the late-night tea. Layered throughout the day, caffeine keeps your nervous system hovering just above calm. Studies show that even one night of short sleep can increase amygdala reactivity by up to 60%. Normal conversations feel loaded. When you sleep less, your brain becomes more anxious by design. And what keeps people sleeping less? Scrolling late at night, blue light exposure, caffeine too late in the day, mental overstimulation. It becomes a cycle. Anxiety disrupts sleep. Poor sleep amplifies anxiety. And the cycle continues. Now let's talk about something more subtle. Something that doesn't feel harmful at all. Constant information consumption. Notifications, buzzing, news, updating. But now, from the moment we wake up until we fall asleep, we are inputting information. And information isn't neutral. Breaking news. Someone venting about their life. Your brain absorbs all of it. Does this affect me? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that affects so many of us, often in ways we don't even realize. Anxiety. We all know the big triggers: work stress, relationship issues, major life changes. But what about the small, everyday habits that are secretly cranking up our anxiety dial? These are the hidden amplifiers, the subtle behaviors that we might even think are harmless or productive, but are actually feeding our stress and worry. We're going to uncover 3 of the biggest culprits: constant scrolling, overscheduling our lives, and something as fundamental as the way we breathe. By the end of this video, you'll not only be able to spot these sneaky anxiety boosters, but also have practical, implement strategies to take back control and find more calm in your daily life. So, if you're ready to quiet the noise and feel more centered, you're in the right place. Let's start with the first hidden amplifier, and it is probably in your hand right now, or at least within arm's reach. Your phone, specifically the habit of constant, mindless scrolling. We do it when we're bored, waiting in line, or even as a way to relax after a long day. But here's the catch. This endless stream of information is anything but relaxing for our brains. Every swipe, every new post, every notification is a microdose of stimulation. Our brains are constantly trying to process a flood of content: news headlines, curated vacation photos, political debates, cute animal videos all at once. This isn't just distracting, it's mentally exhausting. This state of information overload keeps our nervous system in a low-grade state of alert, a fight or flight mode. We're always ready for the next piece of information, the next potential threat or reward. It's no wonder we feel perpetually on edge. And then there's the comparison trap. Social media is essentially a highlight reel of everyone else's life. We see the promotions, the perfect relationships, the exotic trips. Our logical brain knows it's not the full picture, but our emotional brain often can't help but compare our messy, real life to their curated perfection. This constant social comparison is a direct pipeline to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and what's known as FOMO, the fear of missing out. You start thinking, am I doing enough? Is my life as exciting as theirs? Why am I not as happy as they look? This internal dialogue is a huge source of anxiety, creating a sense of pressure to keep up and perform. Instead of connecting us, this habit can leave us feeling more isolated and insecure than ever before. So, while we reach for our phones, seeking distraction or connection, we often end up with a heightened sense of anxiety and a depleted sense of self-worth. It's a vicious cycle, but the good news is, it's one we can break. So, how do we escape this digital anxiety trap? It's not about throwing your phone away. It's about being more intentional. The first step is to create no scroll zones or times. For example, make the first 30 minutes of your day and the last 30 minutes before bed completely screen-free. This allows your mind to wake up gently and wind down naturally without the jarring stimulation of your phone. Another powerful strategy is to turn off non-essential notifications. Do you really need to know every time someone likes your photo instantly? Probably not. By curating your notifications, you decide when you engage with your phone, not the other way around. You take back control from the apps designed to constantly pull you in. And finally, try scheduling your social media time. Instead of picking up your phone whenever you have a spare moment, set aside specific, short blocks of time set. 15 minutes in the afternoon to catch up. This containment strategy prevents scrolling from bleeding into every corner of your life, giving your brain the downtime it desperately needs to reset and relax. Moving on to our second hidden anxiety amplifier, overscheduling. In our hustle culture, a packed calendar is often seen as a badge of honor. We fill every moment with work, social events, errands, and side projects, believing that being busy equals being productive and successful. But what is the true cost of this non-stop activity? When our days are scheduled down to the minute, there is no room for spontaneity, no time for rest, and absolutely no buffer for the unexpected. A simple traffic jam or a meeting that runs late can send our entire day into a spiral of stress because there's no margin for error. This constant pressure to be on and to transition from one task to the next without a break keeps our cortisol levels, the stress hormone, chronically elevated. We're living in a constant state of urgency, rushing from one thing to the next, which is incredibly taxing on both our mental and physical health. We end up feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and perpetually behind, even when we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing. This need to fill every empty space in our calendar often stems from a deeper fear. For many of us, downtime can feel uncomfortable. When we're not busy, we're left alone with our thoughts. And sometimes, those thoughts can be anxious ones. So, we use busyness as an avoidance strategy, a way to distract ourselves from underlying worries or feelings of unease. It's a form of escapism. The problem is, this strategy always backfires. By never allowing ourselves to just be, we prevent our minds and bodies from processing emotions and truly recharging. It's like constantly revving a car engine without ever letting it cool down. Eventually, it's going to overheat and break down. This is what we call burnout. We mistake motion for progress and activity for achievement. But in reality, we're just running ourselves into the ground. True productivity and well-being require a balance between doing and being, between effort and rest. Constantly being on isn't a sign of strength. It's a recipe for chronic anxiety. So, how do we reclaim our time and our sanity from the clutches of an overpacked schedule? The key is to intentionally schedule nothing. That's right. Block out time in your calendar for doing absolutely nothing productive. Label it rest, downtime, or breathing room. This isn't lazy. It's strategic self-preservation. During this time, you can daydream, listen to music, or simply sit and watch the world go by. It's crucial for your brain's recovery. Another powerful tool is learning to say no. We often say yes to things out of guilt, obligation, or that fear of missing out we talked about earlier. Before committing to something, pause and ask yourself, do I have the energy for this? Does this align with my priorities? It's okay to politely decline. Protecting your time and energy is not selfish. It's essential for your well-being. And finally, try the one in, one out rule for your commitments. If you want to add a new project or a social event to your week, you have to decide what you're going to take out to make space for it. This forces you to be realistic about your capacity and helps prevent your schedule from becoming impossibly overloaded. Now for our third and final hidden amplifier, and it's the most fundamental of all: incorrect breathing. This might sound strange. Breathing is automatic, right? How can we be doing it wrong? Well, when we're stressed or anxious, our breathing pattern changes without us even noticing. We start taking shallow, rapid breaths high up in our chest. This is called thoracic or chest breathing. This type of breathing is part of the body's natural fight or flight response. It's designed to quickly oxygenate our muscles so we can escape a predator. The problem is, in our modern world, the predator is often a stressful email or a looming deadline, not a saber-toothed tiger. When we breathe this way chronically, we are constantly sending a signal to our brain that we are in danger. This creates a vicious feedback loop. Anxiety causes shallow breathing, and shallow breathing tells the brain to be more anxious. You're essentially keeping your body in a state of high alert, which makes it impossible to feel calm and relaxed. It exhausts your nervous system and can even lead to physical symptoms like dizziness, tingling in your hands, and a tight chest, which can then be misinterpreted as something more serious, further fueling the anxiety. So, if shallow chest breathing is the problem, what's the solution? It's called diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing. This is the natural way we breathe when we're relaxed, and it's how babies breathe. It involves using your diaphragm, a large muscle at the base of your lungs, to draw air deep into your lungs. This type of deep, slow breathing activates the vagus nerve, which is a core component of our parasympathetic nervous system, our body's rest and digest system. When you breathe deeply from your belly, you are sending a powerful signal to your brain that you are safe. It is like flipping a switch from the anxious channel to the calm channel. This simple act can lower your heart rate, reduce your blood pressure, and decrease the levels of cortisol in your body. It physically interrupts the anxiety cycle. It's one of the most powerful, immediate, and accessible tools you have to manage anxiety. And the best part is, it's completely free, and you can do it anywhere, anytime, without anyone even knowing. It's your built-in tranquilizer. Learning to breathe from your belly is a skill, and like any skill, it takes a little practice. Here's a simple exercise you can do right now. Find a comfortable position, either sitting up straight or lying down. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly, just below your rib cage. Now, take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. For a count of 4, as you inhale, focus on making the hand on your belly rise, while the hand on your chest stays relatively still. This ensures you're using your diaphragm. Hold the breath for a moment, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Feel the hand on your belly fall as you gently push the air out. The longer exhale is key, as it's particularly effective at stimulating that calming rest and digest response. Try to do this for just a few minutes, a couple of times a day. You can do it when you wake up, before a stressful meeting, or when you're trying to fall asleep. The more you practice, the more natural it will become, and soon you'll find yourself automatically turning to this powerful technique whenever you feel anxiety starting to creep in. So there, you have 3 hidden anxiety amplifiers that might be sabotaging your peace of mind. The endless scroll, the overpacked schedule, and the shallow breath. The common thread here is that these are habits, and habits can be changed. It starts with awareness. By recognizing how these behaviors impact your mental state, you've already taken the most important step. Remember, it's about making small, intentional shifts. Swapping mindless scrolling for mindful moments. Trading a packed schedule for protective downtime, and replacing shallow, anxious breaths with deep, calming ones. This isn't about achieving a life completely free of anxieties. That's not realistic. It's about building a toolkit of strategies that empower you to manage it effectively, so it doesn't manage you. You have more control than you think. Start with one small change today. Pick one strategy from this video and commit to it for a week. See how it feels. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. You're rewiring your brain for calm, and that's a powerful and worthwhile journey. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on living a more intentional life. See you in the next one. 5 minutes between tasks. A short walk without headphones. A pause in your car before entering your home. Exhale slowly for 6 seconds. Longer exhales activate the parasympathetic nervous system. They tell your body, you are safe. Your nervous system is adaptable. It changes based on how you treat it daily. You don't have to remove all stress to feel better. You just have to stop unknowingly adding to it. Small leaks sink big ships, but small repairs keep them afloat. If you've been blaming yourself for feeling anxious, pause for a moment. Maybe it's over-caffeinated. Maybe it hasn't heard the signal safe in a very long time. And the beautiful thing about safety signals is that you can create them. Through light, through breath, through rest, through silence, through space. Anxiety is loud, and when you begin removing these 5 hidden triggers, you might discover something surprising. Calm was never missing. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that nothing outside of you had to change. Yet your anxiety felt lighter. Not gone, not magically erased, but softer. More manageable. Not eliminating anxiety forever. Not becoming a perfectly calm human being. Anxiety is not always a sign that something is wrong with your life. Often, it's a sign that your nervous system has been overstimulated for too long without recovery.